Hi, I'm Jess Fields. Welcome to the show. I interviewed John McAfee. And if you know who John McAfee is, that's really all the introduction you need. But if you don't know who he is, let me give you a little bit of background. You're probably familiar with McAfee Antivirus, a computer program that seems to ship with every Windows PC ever sold. Well, this is that guy. He founded McAfee Antivirus in the late 1980s, and then he sold it by the mid 1990s and made reportedly $100 million, although he claims in this interview he made $8 billion. However much he made, it was a lot of money. And then he went and lived a very lavish lifestyle for a number of years. In 2009, he publicly claimed that he was liquidating all of his assets, although recently he has said that that was just to have people stop suing him. He was in Belize for a while. He was accused of murdering his neighbor, and then he was supposedly on the run from the IRS. Now he lives in rural Tennessee, and last year ran for the Libertarian Party's nomination for president. McAfee is a very interesting guy, and he really knows a lot about cybersecurity, and so I interviewed him. I was originally interviewing him about cybersecurity, and he also knows a lot about cryptocurrency, so I wanted to talk to him about that. But as you will see, the interview kind of went off the rails from the very beginning, and he ended up talking more about his childhood and then introspectively reviewing his life and whether or not all of that financial success was actually worth it. By the end of the interview, as you'll see, he comes to a very stark and honest admission and says, no, it wasn't worth it. I don't know that I've seen an interview with McAfee that has him going into such introspective, personal detail as this one. And I think it's a very interesting interview because you don't often hear people who've been very wealthy talk about their lives in this way. I will give you a very strong warning. I mean, I'm underlining it right now. He uses extremely strong language throughout the entire interview. And so while most of my stuff, I try to make it pretty clean, this is a pretty strong language interview. But get the kids out of the room and listen to the interview, and I think you will enjoy it very much, this interview with John McAfee. So I'm recording now. Is that okay with you, Mr. McAfee?
Go ahead.
All right,
Press
great.
record.
Okay. Oh, gosh, how to introduce you. You're like the hardest person to introduce in the whole world.
May I introduce myself?
Yeah, how would you introduce yourself? Let's start that.
My name is given to me by my parents, John McAfee. And some people say McAfee. I don't fucking know. I mean, my parents lied to me about Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, the Tooth Fairy, and who knows what else they may have lied to me about. So you may call me whatever you wish. I prefer to say McAfee. I'm the founder of the McAfee Antivirus company. And an activist against governmental control, against anything that prevents a human being from being free from influence, from financial security, from anything. I don't know how else to describe me.
Yeah, so you most recently ran for the Libertarian Party nomination for president unsuccessfully, but certainly garnered some attention there, and then also have garnered a lot of attention in recent years as an activist. So I'd like to go through all of that, but let's go right back to the very beginning when it all started, and you in the well, I guess. Let's just start with where you grew up and what was your childhood. Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in 1945 at the very end of World War II in England. My father was an American soldier stationed in England. I was born on an army base, so I was therefore born on U.S. soil and therefore deserved an American passport and American citizenship. I was raised in the Appalachians in a little town called Norton, Virginia, one of the poorest, if anybody knows anything about the Appalachians. It is the poorest part of America.
Mm-hmm.
Coal mining. It's that intersection between Virginia, Tennessee, North Carolina, and West Virginia. There's nothing there but coal
Mm-hmm.
and steep mountains. So for the first 9 years of my life, I lived in virtual darkness from the coke ovens. That's where they burned the coke, a heating
Mm.
substance. Um, the skies were black constantly. No one had a dime. You couldn't afford anything. We lived in utter poverty. I mean, I never held or had a fresh egg until I was 11 years old. You couldn't afford them in the
Wow.
Appalachians. Um, so I was 11 years old when I had my first egg,
Mm.
my first taste of a cow, a steak, a hamburger, or anything was when I was 12. So no, I was born in the poorest
Mm.
part of America. I mean, this is not saying much, by the way, when you consider that America is the richest country on this planet. We
Mm.
did not starve. None of my neighbors, my friends, none of them starved to death. We did not. We did not. We had limited education.
Mm.
We had limited access to culture, to anything that had cultural value, but we didn't starve. Why? The poorest part of America is not in any way, shape, or form the poorest part of Africa, where
Mm.
half of the population in Nigeria starves
Mm.
before the age of 5. I'm just
Mm.
saying. So no, I'm not trying to gain your pity.
No,
Your pity.
but what you're saying is even in grinding poverty, you still had the opportunity to do something, and you still had the basic necessities of life, and not everybody has that, certainly.
Yes, we were able to survive.
Yeah.
Things like culture, education. I mean, that didn't fucking exist. People, not till I left there at the age of 12
Mm-hmm.
and moved to Tennessee, a little town called Bristol, Tennessee, right on the border of Virginia and Tennessee. And I went to school. I got to learn shit for the first fucking time. My mother taught me how to read and write, um, and I was way behind in school because I had hardly any schooling, none. There's only fucking schools in the Appalachians, for fuck's sake, people. This is what amazes me even today. People living in St. Louis and Los Angeles, New York, Atlanta do not know that there is a section of America in abject fucking poverty, the Appalachians. I don't know why. No one gave a shit about it because it had no value. It produced nothing. No minerals, no oil, no technological innovations,
Mm.
nothing. Just coal mining. That was it. And if you did not own a coal mine, then you worked for one or you starved. This was it. This is where I grew up. So in any case, but at the age of 12, I moved to Bristol, Tennessee, and I began a very retarded education because even though I could read and write, I was way behind anybody that was my age. But I caught up quickly. And we moved from Bristol to Salem, Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, the most beautiful part of the world. And people I've traveled everywhere on this fucking planet, and there is no more beautiful place than the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia. And I somehow, I don't know how, caught up, went to college, got a degree in mathematics with fucking honors, went to graduate schools. I ultimately ended up with a doctorate in science from Roanoke College. I did get a graduate degree. I never got an advanced degree. I went to Louisiana State, Virginia Polytechnic, New York University, the University of Munich. Never fucking graduated. I was more interested in chasing women, drinking, drugging, partying, whatever. But eventually, Roanoke College gave me a doctorate of science. And I'm not sure it was deserved. In fact, it probably was not. But somehow I I escaped my beginnings. I don't know how. I really don't, people. I do not. It was not through intelligence. I promise you, I'm no more intelligent than the next person. It wasn't through drive, because I am a lazy motherfucker. I am. If I can find a lazy way to do something, I will. It was through luck or the grace of God that I became who I am. And who that is, I cannot tell you. I did found the largest computer security firm in the world.
Yes, I want to ask you. I want to ask you about that. You mentioned by luck, which, a lot of times when people that are successful, you ask them how you're successful, and they don't mention luck. They don't say things like by the grace of God. I mean, before we go into some of the rest of this, I'm just curious. I mean, do you have a sense of your position in, like, relative to the universe? Do you have a faith, or do you have a sense that a lot of it is chance? What is your belief system?
Whoa. That is a very intense question, my friend. My belief system. I think that belief itself, if you have to believe in something, a God, a religion, a system, then you're like the blind man who must believe in sunlight. I mean, if you're blind, you don't have any experience of sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
You must believe what others tell you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see, belief takes no part in the experience of seeing. Do you understand? So to me, belief has zero value. I mean, it's like ridiculous beyond any sense of description. No, I believe in nothing. Nothing. Why? Because that's been my experience. That belief itself is the problem with humankind.
But you say by luck, so you do believe, I guess, that, I mean, again, I
believe in luck.
Right.
Listen, I'm a mathematician and a statistician. Luck, fuck yes. Yeah, duh. If you flip a coin 1,000 times, approximately 500 times, it's going to come up heads,
Mm-hmm.
and 500 times, it's going to come up tails.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get very close to 50-50. If you flip it 10,000 times, it's going to be so close to 50-50 that it makes no difference. Yes, I believe in mathematics. I believe in statistics, and I believe in luck. What is luck? Luck is the ability of the human entity to recognize what floats in front of your nose as an opportunity, and to either grab it or not. Now, I don't know anybody. Listen, My company, McAfee, that was luck. I know for a fact that Microsoft was luck. I know Bill Gates. I know the entire fucking story.
Mhm.
Every successful person became successful through luck. What was the difference between those who were successful and those who thought they were not successful? The difference is those who were successful grabbed the opportunity. Now, in grabbing an opportunity, you, you may lose everything: your wife, your job, your money, your dog, your car, your house. Trust me, I know for a fact, people, there is no opportunity that comes for free. No, it doesn't happen. An opportunity comes with a thing called risk, and that risk is proportional to the potential of the opportunity. If it's a
So,
great opportunity, you must accept great risk. I'm sorry. I wish the world were otherwise. I do.
so
But
is
it's,
that what happened in 1987 when you founded what
of
arguably
course,
the best
let me
known
tell you
corporate?
exactly what happened.
Yeah,
Okay, so I remember it well. It was actually 1986.
86.
My brother-in-law on a Sunday was reading the San Jose Mercury News. Now, let me tell you my situation at that time. I worked for Lockheed on a black program. I mean, I was a very, very high up, highly valued technician. In what? Software engineering. All I've ever done. I don't know anything else. My brother-in-law was reading the newspaper. Oh, also, by the way, I owned and operated the world's largest bulletin board system in Silicon Valley, by the way, called Home Base. 32 phone lines coming into my bulletin board system constantly. Now, this is before the internet. Before the internet, what did we have? We had bulletin board systems. I'm sorry to be so backwards, but these are systems where you went online and on one bulletin board system, they had software, they had comments, they had chat, they had fucking everything. And if there were programs uploaded, you download it and go, God damn, this is a good one. What did you do with it? You uploaded it to another bulletin board system, which somebody else downloaded and uploaded to yet another. Now, so my brother-in-law, Richard, a worthless motherfucker, he hadn't worked for 6 years. He was a sort of a parasite on my life. Was reading the San Jose Mercury News and said, whoa, look at this. There's a thing called a computer virus. I go, computer virus? I put those two words together and go, give me the fucking paper. I read the article. It was a piece of software developed by two brothers in Lahore, Pakistan, that ran a computer repair shop, that wrote the world's first true artificial intelligence software. I don't know how you want to define artificial intelligence, but to me, if a piece of software is designed with the purpose of survival and replication, well, fuck me, that's life, is it not? Isn't that what we all are? Isn't it? We go through life genetically looking for a partner to have children, which will continue our genetic line. That's what this fucking piece of software did. I read that article. It was on Sunday. On a Monday, I got a copy of it from Stanford University, who were the people who discovered it. I knew everybody. Listen, being me, working at Lockheed and being one of the, at that time, I would get to be egotistical, but one of the greatest software engineers at that time. I'm nothing now, by the way, nothing. But then I was well known around the world. I knew everybody at Stanford University. I called, said, "Give me a copy." I went up, went up to Palo Alto, where Stanford resides. Got a copy, took it home. By the next day, I had taken it apart, disassembled it, looked at the logic and go, "God damn, this is the most beautiful piece of software I've ever seen." Two brothers in Lahore, Pakistan, running a goddamn computer repair shop, wrote this. My first thought was, I gotta hire these motherfuckers. Didn't happen. In any case, I took it apart. I saw how it worked. Within an hour, I figured out how to locate it, disable it, and remove it. So I wrote, within one day, I wrote a program to locate it, remove it, and repair everything. 3 months later, I had $35 million in the bank. I'm sorry, this was luck, people. I didn't plan jack fucking shit. You cannot plan anything in this life. I mean, please, if you doubt me, read Shakespeare. I mean, his famous fucking line, "The best laid plans of mice and men oft go astray." In my experience, 100% of the time go astray. You can't plan fucking success. From Microsoft to Apple to you fucking name it, there's never been a plan that worked. Every goddamn one was just like me. An opportunity wafted by my nose, and I grabbed it.
Do you
And I
think
followed it.
so? Do you feel like you were prepared for that opportunity? I mean, what happened to your life before? Like, what was the difference between right before that happened and then right after you suddenly had all this money coming in and a huge amount of success, even though you were already well known, but now you're suddenly very successful?
You cannot ever plan for success. Well, basically, I lost everything. Everything. All my friends, my wife, my car, my job, everything. Why? There's no way to have followed this opportunity without risking that. People, this is the thing that nobody understands. If you want a new life, you must absolutely abandon the life that you have. I wish it was different. I do. I really fucking do. But if you get success, you will lose everything: your friends, your neighbors, your wife, your job, your car, your house, your past. You will enter a new fucking universe alone. Alone, people. Alone. This is the thing, which is why few are able to accept success. Because you want to bring all that shit, the baggage that you've had from an unsuccessful life, with you into a new world. And it cannot be done. I wish it could. I do. I wish reality were somehow different. That success could allow you to bring everything you've ever known with you. But no, what does success do? It catapults you into a different reality.
So,
End of fucking story.
so how do you define success then, I guess, over the course of
Well, no, that's a question. That's a question, is it not? I'm defining it right now as how everybody defines it. Lots of money, lots of importance, lots of influence. If you want to define it another way, we can talk about that as well, my friend.
Sure. So I suppose, at least at the time, certainly your definition of success was money,
Money,
fame,
power,
power.
influence.
Yeah.
Duh. I'm sorry. I hate to be shallow, but I am a shallow motherfucker. I'm really sorry, people. People think, God, you're deep. No, no, I'm not. I'm as shallow as they get. I'm as shallow as they get. Success, in my definition, is the increase of either money, power, influence, importance, or understanding. Now, there's a different fucking success. uh, that sort of success is outside of my grasp. The success of the Einsteins, the Isaac Newtons. I'm not. I'm not in their category. I wish I was. That would be great, because none of them gave a flying fuck about money, power, influence, or the rest of it. But that's a level of intellect I never reached. I'm just the average ignorant motherfucker like most of everyone.
So at some point, you obviously you went from software and then you created a company. And then at some point in the early mid 1990s, you sold the company. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I listen. The company grew rapidly. I sold it in the 1990s for almost $8 billion. That may not seem like much to you guys, but to me, that was a lot of money. I'm sorry, it's not Bill Gates' money, nor Larry Ellison's, nor even Donald Trump's money. Right? Nevertheless, it was a fair amount of money. With $8 billion, let me ask you, what can you not buy? And see, this is what happened to me. What happened to me was I ended up with more money than I could spend. Now, really, this happens. This happens. There's nothing in the world that costs that much. Nothing. Nothing, people. And as much as I tried to divest myself of money, because it's more than I spent, my money managers were making another billion fucking dollars a year. Do you know how hard it is to spend $1 billion, people? I mean, I'm serious. I'm serious. Yachts, the most expensive fucking yachts, $250 million. Houses, and no house on the planet costs $250 million. And I built all of my houses. The most expensive house that I built was $50 million in Colorado, in Woodland Park. 50 fucking bedrooms. Do you understand the insanity that humankind can reach? I didn't have 50 friends, people. And yet I built a place with 50 bedrooms.
So why did you do that? Why did you feel the need to go? And I mean, were you just trying to spend all of the money? Did you figure that if you kept spending it, that it would reach a certain level of
No,
enjoyment of it?
no,
Or
no. I wish it were that complex. No, it's simpler than that. I did it because I could. Do you understand? I didn't have the worst of all fucking reasons for doing something. And yet you think I am unique? You think that Donald Trump, who builds his fucking Trump towers in Las Vegas and Miami, he's any different than me? No, please, people, see, we are an imperfect species. We love, we have gratitude and compassion and caring. We 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 hope and dream. At the same fucking time, people, we are jealous, envious, angry, fearful creatures. I regret having to say this, but after 74 years of living, I do not know how else to put the truth of humanity. This is us. And when, people, you need to understand this. This is the most important thing I can leave you with. When we get power, do you think it's love that needs the power? Grace? Compassion? Fuck no, they don't need power. What is it in us that needs power? Greed needs power. Fear definitely needs power. Anger needs power. I want the power to kick your fucking ass. You can't kick mine. Do you understand? Do you understand that power corrupts everyone? And absolute power does, in fact, corrupt absolutely. People, please, God, understand this, that power itself is the most negative quality of the human experience, because power does not help love, compassion, hope, dreams, gentleness. Do you think fucking gentleness needs power? No, no. Hostility, that fucking needs power. Greed needs power. People, I have understood this not through reading books, watching fucking movies, not through talking. No, through my own personal experience of living. I fear for our species. I do. The human, I don't want to say race, the human species. I think the earth is about to shrug us off like it shrugged off the goddamn dinosaurs 17 million years ago. Because what were the dinosaurs? I mean, was that not an experience? Is how big can we make the fucking mouth and teeth? The Tyrannosaurus Rex. Please look it up. Look at the picture. What is a Tyrannosaurus Rex? It's a mouth where the front legs are shrunk because the mouth is too fucking big to have. So they're shrunk to nothing. Hind legs and a mouth 1/3 the size of the fucking body. And I think that the earth, that if there is some being, some existence, some intelligence that's monitoring or controlling or somehow influencing, goes, you know what, you dudes with the mouth, okay, we ran 40 million years with the mouth. Listen, it's boring as shit. Wipe it out. And it was it not? And somebody, some idiot said, whoa, how about the brain? Let's try the brain. Well, we, as human beings, are the end result of that. And if you think this is fucking life supporting, that this is a good goddamn thing, what we have done with this fucking brain, well, then I do not know what to say to you, and good luck to you.
So at some point after building the houses and enjoying all of that, obviously you kind of moved on from that at some point.
Listen, it's Irish whiskey. It does that to you. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. So at some point you kind of you kind of moved on, and I think at one point you even had the media out at one of your properties, and I mean, could you just explain kind of the aftermath of that spree where you were building all the houses and buying the yachts and doing all that?
This is the last question, unfortunately. We're over time. Yeah, okay, so at one point, 19 in 2005. In 2005, I had mansions, not just houses, property, mansions in Molokai, Hawaii, in Colorado, the USA, in Tucson, Arizona, in Rodeo, New Mexico, in Cuenca, Ecuador. I mean, fucking mansions, people. I mean, 35,000 square foot houses. In Molokai, I had two. Molokai, Hawaii, I had two. One of them, I never set foot in. It took me 5 years to build and cost me $14 million. Never set foot in it. Never saw it. Nothing. One in South Padre Island, Texas. 16 bedrooms. I spent 8 days in that house. That's all. 8 fucking days. Do you understand the insanity? Yeah, Janice says I gotta go. The insanity.
Well,
I'm sorry, there can't be any more. My apologies, my friend.
That's okay. Well, let me just ask you, I mean, I guess this last thing, because I thought we were going to talk about cybersecurity. I kind of went into a different direction. But let me ask you this, since we talked about your success and your financial success and all this, I mean, was all of that worth it?
Worth what? See, this is the question.
I know. I mean, I guess, well, do you feel like
worth is basically a ratio,
right,
between cost and joy.
Mm-hmm.
No, fuck me, none of it was worth it. None of it. I was seduced by power. That's all. Seduced by power. People call it Satan, mammon, the love of money, greed. No, I was
Right.
I was seduced by it. I've slept with thousands of women. Nothing can possibly resemble the power of being seduced by power. Do you understand? Please see the insanity.
So
the insanity and yes.
Is it possible to ask you a few questions about Bitcoin?
No, I'm sorry. No, it's not. We're way over time, my friend. My apologies. Janice says, "Forgive me this."
Okay.
Meaning, if I don't hang up, she's gonna slit my fucking throat. Okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, John McAfee, founder of McAfee Security. Thank you for joining.
Janice, this gentleman here, I will talk to again. Okay, she's got a thumbs up.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Well, I'll set that up with Janice. Thank you so much, John. And that was John McAfee, founder of McAfee Antivirus. If you like the show, please subscribe on YouTube or in your favorite podcast app. If you have an idea for a guest, please send me an email, jessfieldshow@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.